Welcome back to the channel, folks, where today we look at another of the UK's 46 ladybird species. Of those 46 species, 26 are deemed conspicuous. That is to say, they are larger in size and more brightly coloured, making them easily recognisable. The bird of today is otherwise known as the 14 Spot Ladybird, a small beetle in the family Coccinellidae. This small, bright yellow ladybird of 4 to 5 millimeters long is known by the impossible name of Propylea quatuordecimpunctata. You may be pleased to know that the Latin sums in the suffix can be broken down to 14 punctata, and you may be even more pleased to know that we'll be referring to this species as 14p. These small carnivorous ladybirds are found in all sorts of places and latitudes, including postage stamps. 14p, with its unique oblong markings and bright yellow base colour, is unlikely to be confused with the other species, they being the 22 Spot Ladybird with its bright yellow background and round sharp black spots with a distinctive black and white pronotum. In the confusion species, we also include the cream spotted ladybird with an orange base colour and distinct white spots. And likewise, we also include the orange ladybird, which has a very distinctive traditional orange and again has white spots, making it unmistakable. In the meantime, back to 14p, seen here parting its elytra prior to flight. 14p is a small ladybird of 4 to 5 millimeters in length, so don't be fooled by the macro shots and carry a magnifying lens for a good view. Pronotum. The pronotum has a base colour of either white or yellow with a black crown mark and a narrower leading edge of base colour towards the head, but is mostly black. The base coloration ranges from creamy white through yellow to light orange, but not red. Markings. 14p has a central dark midline, and the spots are almost rectangular on the elytra, but only rarely are all of these spots separate. The markings on the elytra resemble an anchor. The 14p larva is sufficiently distinct from the other confusion species highlighted, and there is a link beneath the description on an ID chart for identifying larvae. So let's take a very quick fly through and look at 3 specimens, with particular regard to the central block in specimen 1 and 2, and the separation as 2 distinct spots in specimen 3 in the up and coming slide. The forms depicted in these 3 specimens very much are typical of the majority of sightings of the 14 Spot Ladybird. In the up and coming section, we will be looking at variation on form, but it should be borne in mind that these are poorly documented and are much rarer in occurrence than the forms that we're currently looking at. These specimens preserve a well-formed rectangular marking and the typical anchor mark. In the last few slides, we see a mating pair of 14p ladybirds displaying the electoral markings at various angles. The polymorphic forms of 14p are poorly described, and when they do occur, there is a tendency for the rectangular markings to revert on themselves to form square spots of the base colour, either white or yellow. In the following slides, we take the opportunity to revise and recap on the confusion species, giving their full name and relative size. The 22 Spot Ladybird is one of the smaller British ladybirds at 3 to 5 millimeters in length, and it has all 3 life stages which remain the same colour, making it conspicuous and easy to identify. Here in these 2 slides we see the distinctive yellow larval form. The cream spot ladybird is also a small ladybird of 4.5 to 5.5 millimeters, It is maroon or orangey brown and is primarily a species of hedgerow and deciduous trees. And finally, the orange ladybird of 5 to 6 millimeters, which is unusual insofar as it is a mildew feeder, feeding on the fungi on trees such as sycamore. As always, we include a few slides detailing the anatomical terms associated with ladybirds. In this slide, we see the elytra of a 14 spot getting ready to take flight. This slide depicts the upper and lower surfaces of the ladybird and its anatomical terms, which may be stopped at any point to study further. The following slide depicts the generalised life cycle of a ladybird, where the stages include egg, larva, pupa and adult. 14P can be identified from its distinct larval form, and we include a link in the description to the ladybird larvae identification chart. The following slides show some examples of the 14P ladybird larvae, which can be compared for reference. In these slides, we see the larva feeding voraciously on insects, mindful that when it enters pupation, it will no longer feed. 14P can be seen active from the end of May through to the month of September. 14P is fairly widely distributed across the United Kingdom. It is commonly found in a variety of habitats such as grassland, woodland edges, towns and gardens, and they tend to thrive in areas where they can feed on a rich aphid source and other small insects such as trees like sycamore. Well folks, that's it from me and 14P, and once again thank you very much for watching. If you have liked or enjoyed this episode or found it interesting or educational, please like, share and subscribe to help bring the next in the series. In the meantime, whatever the weather may be, get outdoors and enjoy it.